Hello, my name is Richard Heenan, and welcome to my case study, which will be examining the case of Braxton Lee Banks versus the National Collegiate Athletic Association, more commonly known as the NCAA, from 1992, which is centered around agency law. The facts from this case, as well as the arguments of both sides, the court findings, and the implications of the case on athletics activities administrators, will be reported from the information provided by Pittman, Spengler, and Young in the textbook Case Studies in Sports Law. Braxton Lee Banks was a football player for the University of Notre Dame who attended the university on a full football scholarship from 1986 to 1990. During his first year of school, he was featured in all 11 football games for the university, and in the first game of his sophomore year, he injured his knee, leading to him only playing in 7 contests that year. Through his junior season, he played in only 6 games for the university, and this was allegedly due to the recurrent knee injury. Due to the knee injury, Banks opted to sit out his senior season at the University of Notre Dame, and having already completed 3 years of his collegiate eligibility, he was now eligible to enter the 1990 National Football League draft. Banks then met with multiple representatives from scouting agencies of multiple NFL teams. Having met with multiple agents, Banks entered his name into the NFL draft. After entering the draft, Banks participated in NFL tryouts and was put through several athletic efficiency drills at the University of Notre Dame by NFL teams. However, after the NFL draft of 1990 had ended, Banks had gone unselected. NCAA eligibility rules state that a student athlete is eligible to play 4 seasons of a sport within 5 years of starting their college education. Since Banks had set out his senior season at the University of Notre Dame, he had 1 season of eligibility left and sought to return to the university and play his 4th and final season as a way to showcase his abilities to prospective NFL teams. Unfortunately, 2 rules in the NCAA eligibility rules barred Banks from doing this because he had both declared for the NFL draft and signed with an agent, which forfeited his amateur status. Banks then submitted a personal request for reinstatement to the NCAA that was subsequently denied. He then sought legal action against the NCAA, claiming the NCAA eligibility rules were an illegal restraint on trade and commerce in violation of the Sherman Antitrust Act. The case was dismissed by the district court, and Banks then appealed the district court's decision to dismiss the case. We will now look at the plaintiff's argument in this case, the plaintiff being Braxton Banks. Braxton Banks argued that the NCAA no draft and no agent rules, which kept him from being reinstated to play his 4th year of football at the University of Notre Dame, were an illegal restraint on trade and commerce in violation of the Sherman Antitrust Act. We will now examine the defendant's argument, with the defendant being the NCAA. The NCAA argued that their rules served to maintain the clear line of demarcation between college and pay-for-play football. They considered college football players to be student athletes who were simultaneously pursuing academic degrees that would prepare them for employment in non-athletic occupations, and that the regulations are designed to preserve the honesty and integrity of intercollegiate athletics and foster fair competition among the participating amateur college students. Looking at the court findings, the appeals court affirmed the judgment of the district court, holding that Banks failed to allege an anti-competitive effect on a relevant market, and at best had merely attempted to frame his complaint in antitrust language. The complaint failed to explain how the alleged restraints diminish competition in or among the markets. As a result for the findings of this case, there were many implications for athletics and activities administrators, but I will only examine 2. 2 possible implications of this trial on athletics activities administrations include hefty sanctions on athletic administrators and their schools who fail to abide by these rules that maintain student athletes' amateur status. These findings can also mean more thorough investigations by NCAA to ensure that student athletes are maintaining amateurism by not communicating with agents or being represented by agents during college years. Examples of these implications include sanctions handed down to the University of Southern California in 2010 after investigations uncovered that the 2005 Heisman Trophy winner Reggie Bush had been receiving improper benefits while enrolled at the university. Also, the 2017-18 FBI investigation into more than 20 universities for allegations of bribery and pay-to-play scandals between Adidas and their college basketball programs.